Well, that magic really happened. And you know what this means? It's time to do another TV show review. Then I'm going to tell you about it in a few moments. What's up, everybody? Agent Mike here, and welcome back to New York City. This time, I'm standing in front of Brooklyn. This is where the former Sesame Workshop show that took place in the early to mid 1990s. And of course, this next PBS show that I will be talking about that was aired in 1992 and lasted until 1995. Give up? It's Ghostwriter! Now, I received a message from Ghostwriter that says to please review this TV show called Ghostwriter, which you may all heard of since the 1990s. Those of you who remember Ghostwriter, you watch on PBS every day, and you'll understand to solve the mystery as you learn to read and write at the same time. Now that was an awesome thing to do, so grab your magnifying glass, your binoculars, and your notebook and pencil and pen, because Ghostwriter team is on the case. So let's solve the mysteries together in Ghostwriter. It all started where a 12-year-old boy named Jamal Jenkins helped his dad rummage around the basement to declutter some of the things that they are looking for, an old traveling trunk that belonged to his great-grandpa Ezra. When the trunk accidentally popped open, a spirit of the ghost, known as Ghostwriter, appeared from an old book and starts magically making and reading and writing words everywhere. Along the way, he notices a person wearing a scary and scaly mask. Those are two heads, and they wore a thapto pin. As the spirit of the ghost flashes the words and goes to the computer, it types faster on its own. Like, Jamal was so amazed about what was happened and discovered that it was a ghost typing.
Jamal told his sister about what's going on, but the screen was blank.
Oh, I love Jamal Jenkins. He's totally awesome. That he goes along with the Ghostwriter team, solving mysteries as he discovered Ghostwriter at first on the computer and the one he wrote on a piece of paper.
Next, there are two siblings, Alex and Gabby Fernandez. As you know, Gabby thirsts for knowledge, which I will explain to it in a bit.
Gabby! She's one of a kind and a good friend to Jamal and Alex. She thirsts for knowledge.
Jamal meets with his friend Lenai to talk about Thapto button he found.
Ah, Lenai. She's a good friend to the Ghostwriter team.
So Jamal and Lenai finding out more clues of what Thapto means. And Lenai couldn't believe her eyes that the Ghostwriter changes up the words in her notebook and all things around. So Jamal and Lenai gathered up some clues and found a coded message with scrambled words of it. Lenai visits her brother Alex at a store to find out more and gathering more clues.
Alex, one of Jamal's friends, and he's the lover of mysteries. And he loves to solve mysteries with Jamal.
Jamal discovered the computer types itself, decides to call him Ghostwriter after getting to know very well. And Jamal and Lenai cheered. And of course, Lenai contacts his father and asks questions how a mystery can be solved, as well as Ghostwriter is searching for clues about Thapto. As Jamal understood how Ghostwriter is able to gather lots of information, Ghostwriter is able to travel from one word to another. Then Jamal and Alex go to the arcade and discovered these guys are playing arcade games and competing in an upcoming tournament. Although they knew if these guys playing the game is really Thapto, they figure out what kind of code that is that Jamal found earlier. And it looks like they're trying to crack the mysterious code that some scrambled letters don't seem scrambling to me.
Oh boy, there are mysteries everywhere. They have to look for clues and to solve the mysteries.
As Alex writes to Ghostwriter to give answers on a test, Ghostwriter doubts it because that would be cheating. That happened in real life.
And let's not forget Tina. She is an awesome friend to Alex, Gabby, and Jamal, and loves to solve mysteries with them, and discovered what Ghostwriter has come up with.
What's up, homie?
What up, homie?
Is that bird real? Or is there a tape recorder in there?
That was funny. Anyway, Gabby received another coded message. And with the help of Alex, R stands for an E, and they try to crack the code, and they did. Looks like the Thapto guys were responsible for this. And as you can see, Jamal looks at the message. It's the final secret ceremony at something something. No one knows what place it is, as Alex is trying to investigate these guys at the arcade and takes down the information of where they will meet. And at least they figure out Renrock Dre. They reverse the words, and it was Corner Navy Yard. Looks like Ghostwriter looks at the double defenders where they meet as Ghostwriter flies through the words, and double defenders were really Thapto guys. And of course, it looks like Jamal decided to give a coded message to one of the Thapto guys that the ceremony is off. So the team arrived at the Corner Navy Yard, and one of the team members disguised as one of the Thapto guys. Those double head masks. And soon we all know that Thapto is really abbreviated as 2 heads are better than 1, as they recite the pledge in the final secret ceremony at Corner Navy Yard. Boy, those Thapto guys sure has a lot of troublemakers, as they're really going to beat double defenders in the final tournament.
Other cool things about Ghostwriter.
The coolest thing about Ghostwriter is that every part 2, 3, 4, or 5 is here's what's happening about the facts and some new facts from the last show. This gives viewers a chance to catch up on the cases and encourages them to get a pencil and a notebook, which is the case book, and track all the clues with the Ghostwriter team. As already mentioned in PBS Kids Memories, this show is really totally awesome. And back at Ghost Story, one of the Thapto guys in disguise by Alex, as the Thapto team was discovered by one of them, and decide to give chase away from Corner Navy Yard and back out into safety.
Ah, yes, in the Ghost Story, this is the very first series, plot series, that the Ghostwriter team was formed and solving the mysteries why Thapto scores highest and why they took away kids' money and leaving messages to crack codes.
Meanwhile, as the team decided a plan to capture the Thapto guys by preventing it from the Double Defenders final tournament. And of course, the Ghostwriter team, which they will call, intercepts with the Thapto team, and a police officer shows up and confronts the Thapto team, and they escorted them out. And those kids will be getting their money back from them soon, as they all cheer. And it was a happy day when the kids rejoice and congratulate the Ghostwriter team. Then, at the conclusion of Ghost Story, Jamal decides to rally out his friends and form a Ghostwriter team. And they are sure proud of themselves to help solve the mysteries along the way. And whenever they needed Ghostwriter's help, they write on a piece of paper or other source. Ghostwriter can't hear or talk. Ghostwriter can write anything. At the rally, Jamal gives his friends Lanai, Alex, and Gabby a set of Ghostwriter pens. This way, they can talk to Ghostwriter by simply writing on a piece of paper. And they made a promise to Ghostwriter that he can fly and love children, love mysteries, and thirst for knowledge, fight what's right, and a great friend. And Ghostwriter himself loves a Ghostwriter team. And that's how Ghostwriter team was formed, and solving mysteries is a chore. Now, here's Who Burned Mr. Brinker's Store, where Jamal and his friend decided to stop by at Mr. Brinker's store to purchase a videotape. And suddenly, something's burning inside Mr. Brinker's store. A fire was set off unexpectedly.
Oh my gosh! Someone burned Mr. Brinker's store!
A police detective heads to Mr. Brinker's store to investigate and interviewed with Mr. Brinker himself about what happened. And he even interviewed Lenai and the kids known as the Ghostwriter team and put together some information to find out who burned Mr. Brinker's store. Gabby and Lenai made a casebook and discovered the surveillance footage and find out what happened and who are the suspects, as Jamal and Alex find out more information about copyright infringement. As one of Jamal's friends is playing some basketball, Lenai and Gabby is gathering some more clues to find out who burned Mr. Brinker's store. And they're doing their best to gather a lot of information and to determine about what happens next. As Jamal is trying to find out and thinking about what he's doing, he talks with his grandmother and discuss the info and situations with the police detective and to figure things out and putting the puzzle together, as the rest of the Ghostwriter team is gathering some more clues and to find out who burned Mr. Brinker's store. As Gabby is trying to view some of the tapes that she bought at Mr. Brinker's store, she notices there's a movie that has been recorded from the news footage, records over it, and it figured that there's a movie in it. And it's not a blank tape.
Uh-oh! Mr. Brinker himself has a copyright infringement issue! Just like today that there's a copyright infringement issues to Facebook, YouTube, Dailymotion, and Vimeo.
As the Ghostwriter team is trying to gather some more clues and info about Mr. Brinker's store, Ghostwriter knew that videos are key to finding more information. And they met up with a police officer and police detective and to find out who has the hat in the store and to observe and to convince the team that they're still looking for the verdict who is responsible for burning Mr. Brinker's video store. As the Ghostwriter team is rallied together and to discover and to put the information together like a puzzle, Ghostwriter found out that there's trouble ahead and there's an arrest warrant for Jamal, the one who he's responsible for this. But Jamal is not. And they're going to have to find a way to clear Jamal's name and to puzzle the information to find out who burned Mr. Brinker's store. As Gabby is trying to figure out who burned Mr. Brinker's video store by interviewing a witness. And the rest of the team is trying to find the verdict as Alex distracts Mr. Brinker himself, and Jamal looks at the back of the store with his friend and find out something's burning and something is very wrong with Mr. Brinker's store. And Gabby and Lanai trying to come up with the information to see who is responsible for burning the store. And we all know that Gabby and Lanai is still trying to figure it out how this has all happened by reviewing the footage of the news and looking for other clues that the ghostwriter provided to them. And they'll have to take the receipts from Mr. Brinker's store to the police and to find out to clear Jamal's name. Things are getting trickier these days as they're still searching for some more hints. And Jamal and Lanai convinces the police detective and a witness to find out what happens next. And Gabby and her friend takes it to Mr. Brinker himself and purchases the tape, and the police detective observes the burnt room with Jamal and found out why Mr. Brinker himself receives the tapes that have copyright infringement, and the store burns without knowing, and found out it was Mr. Brinker himself who burned the store.
Mystery solved! That's totally awesome!
And so this episode ends where Gabby finally knew that Mr. Brinker himself burned the store and cleared Jamal's name. And the Ghostwriter team welcomes new recruits to the team. And they all celebrate with a friendship song. And everyone lives happily. There's more Ghostwriter cases up ahead, and the team is to solve more clues to get to the bottom of this. Ghostwriter is an awesome classic PBS Kids show aired in the 1990s.
Oh boy, there are a lot of more mysteries to solve ahead on Ghostwriter. And I wish that the series would come to Amazon Prime Video, Apple's iTunes, and Vudu, as well as Tubi. So in my final thoughts for Ghostwriter, this show is so 1990s, and it is so awesome that for those of you who love to solve mysteries, this series is for you. Those who grew up in 1990s also want to catch a glimpse of watching Ghostwriter that is part of the elementary and middle school curricula about reading and writing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this Ghostwriter TV series a 8. If you are a fan of Ghostwriter, you should check this out. Thank you all for watching this TV show review here at Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Remember, I am always here, and I am always around, and I have more movies and TV shows to review. If you got any questions, comments, or requests, or you want to talk to me, send me email here at agentmikemtr@gmail.com and let me know. It'll be great for me to respond to you back. So, this is Agent Mike, and I'll be seeing you in the movies and TV shows. And remember, solve the mysteries with your friends, and one day you'll have an awesome time. See you later, dudes. Hey all you fans, thank you all for watching today's episode of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer, and I hope you solved the mysteries with the Ghostwriter team. If you want to become a fan on Facebook, visit facebook.com/DragonAgentProductions and view my videos and leave a comment or request and press thumbs up. That's like. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/DragonAgentFraud1 and leave a comment or request, and good comments. And don't forget to press thumbs up and please subscribe. And you can leave a message on my blog at AgentMikeHub1.tumblr.com. This way I will be happy to respond to you back. And I love to write in blogs and read messages from fans. This is Agent Mike, and I'll be seeing you in the next movie and TV show review here at Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. See you next time!